Hello, beautiful people, and welcome. If this is your first time here, it's wonderful to have you here with me for Kat's message of the day. Before I share the channeled message, please note that this is a collective group channeled message, meaning I tap into the energy of I just asked my tribe in my tribe, and it all comes from a place of love. This message, so let's deep dive into it. Stop blaming situations or people for where you are today. Have you had a traumatic experience in your life where you feel because of it, you are who you are and you are where you are in life? Do you blame external factors, people, or both? Do you hold anger, frustration, hate, disgust towards a person or a situation? How does the attached disempowering emotions and thoughts serve you daily and your future moving forward? When are you going to consciously take back your power? Until you heal and release, the person or the situation, or both, still controls you. Still controls your thoughts, your mindset, your emotional state of being, and your overall well-being. That's huge. So from today moving forward, be accountable for you, your actions, and the part that you play in your life. It may sound a little harsh, but it really does make a massive difference when we look at the situation and look what part we played in it. And when we're accountable and we stop blaming, it's only then that you really can release and heal and release and take back your control. Take it back. Because if you are blaming someone, that someone still controls you. Life doesn't happen to you, life happens for you. That's the difference. And I wrote this down, and I wasn't going to share it. I was going to do another video, but I really absolutely love this, which is take back control and be the writer of your life story. Don't allow that other person or that situation to continually write your life story and holding you back from doing things, whatever it is you want to do. So that's the channeled message. So let's go into the daily guidance. Shake up your routine. I'm getting almost your thought routine. What are your thought patterns that you have? So before I read this message, if you'd love to just close your eyes, take a deep breath with me, just to recenter yourself. And if you're into numbers, the page number is 54. Although routines are comforting, they can also blind you to life's variety. Habitual patterns dull your senses to anything out of the ordinary. Awaken your awareness and feel extra alive by shaking up your regular activities. Have fun by creatively changing everything today. Exchange your usual schedule, your normal eating habits, and your accustomed manners for novel ways of doing things. You may feel awkward as you try something new, but you'll also have the exhilaration of exploring fresh ways to live. You'll probably return to some of your comfortable routines, yet you'll be very likely incorporate fresh approaches as well. In other words, through the process of experimentation, you may discover wonderful new ways to live. One reason why holidays and vacations are so invigorating is that they involve the exploration of new places, people, food, and leisure activities. You can create the same energy by changing things up right now. Thought for today. I shake up my routines and look for unusual ways to spend my time. I try new methods and approaches, and I discover fresh ways to live. I let go of the old and embrace the new. I'll read that last sentence again, shall I? I let go of the old and embrace the new. So what in your past is holding you back? What in your past is a situation or a person still controlling your present? Whatever has happened in your past is still defining you. And not only defining you, but controlling you. That's the word that keeps coming up. And I don't really use that word. I like to shift it and use the word manage. But this is quite strong, the energy that I'm getting around it. A situation, something has happened to you in your past. I'm getting childhood that is still there's a lot of emotional attachment to that, quite painful emotional attachment to that. And maybe it's really time to look at it. And if it was involving a person, really let that person go. Thank them for controlling you for all these years and let them go and say, thank you, but I'm taking back my power. I'm no longer going to allow you to do that. It may sound harsh. I guess I came across this and I discovered this when I left my ex-husband after 23 years in an abusive and very volatile relationship. I remember blaming him for a few years and hating him, and the disgust and all of that anger attached to that whole part of my life. And then I got into a new relationship and I went, how is holding on to this serving me to really be full on and full in my new relationship? And then it dawned on me one day, I went, oh my gosh, while I hold all of this, he's still in my life. My ex-husband still controls me. He's still in my life. And I went, you're not doing that anymore. And just shifting that and looking at it from that perspective is that he still controls me. Even though I've left him and I'm out of that situation, he still unknowingly controls me. He controls my thoughts, how I feel, what I think about self. And I just went, I'm not doing that. And that was the game changer for me. I didn't have to go and upheave all of that stuff from my past. It was just looking at it from a different perspective. And such a simplistic one was, holy crap, you still control me and I am not allowing you to do that. So as much as anger can be a negative and a disempowering emotion, I found through my whole journey what really got me to be the victor and, the survivor of my relationship was use anger to empower me, to give me the strength to overcome all of that. And I remember I used to say it almost as a mantra, you're not going to beat me, you're not going to beat me. And I feel that that's what really did assist me to come out the other end. So I just wanted to share a little bit, and maybe that's just giving you a different perspective of what this means. So today 2 cards came out, and what's the first one? Inner child, isn't that appropriate? So where I said there could be something, a situation or a person that you're holding on to, and I'll say blaming, it's time to let them go. And it clearly may come from your childhood. Your younger self is still holding something, but it may take your adult self to acknowledge that and then heal and release it. So I don't know if that makes sense, but that's what I'm getting. It's definitely from when you were younger with this inner child card coming up. So let's go to the book and see what that says in regards to inner child. Okay, before I read this, especially this particular card, I'd love for you to just close your eyes, take another deep breath with me, just to really center yourself so you can absorb the words that come out through this message. Really take them down deep. Don't just think about the words. Take them deep into your internal being, right down to your gut. Your inner child yearns love and attention. Your inner child wants to have fun, so maybe it's time to stop taking things so seriously and listen to the message your inner child has for you. I live inside your heart, waiting patiently. I, the one you left behind, has never left you. For through all your travels, your days and nights, I have been with you. Look back through the midst of time and clouds of emotions and you will see me. I am here waiting. In finding me, you will become whole. In knowing me, you will know yourself better. Also, for we are one. I am the pure essence of you, before the world took hold and reshaped you. I am the essence of your soul self, the guardian of your true self. Let us travel the rest of our path together. A whole world awaits us. A whole universe surrounds us with love. All of time resides within us. All of time unfolds before us. Let us shed light on darkness. Let us jump for joy. Let us be all that we are through life's journey's unfolding dream. Let love conquer all. So for those of you, this may be new to you about your inner child. I refer to it as our younger self. So it's about remembering back. I'm going to use it in very basic terms. Remembering back when you were a child and whatever happened in your childhood, go back to that moment, because emotions is something we cannot forget. If we tap in, we forget it if we're coming from a think perspective. We're trying to think back to our childhood rather than feel back to our childhood. There's a difference. Because thinking means you're trying to find the story. You're trying to find it. Whereas feeling means you don't need to remember it. It just comes, that feeling. Whether you were bullied at school and teased, I'm sure if you go back to that 7 or 8 year old or whatever age it was, it's generally around there for some reason. I always go to that age, that you can remember feeling it. I remember being, teased and I would cry. I remember that feeling. And I've healed that feeling and I've acknowledged my younger self and said, you know what? I hear you. And just as the book said, it's about, I'm here waiting. So your younger self is waiting for you to acknowledge it. But from your adult self to say, yeah, you know what, as a kid, it wasn't good, and heal from that. So that's what I get from that card. Listening. Yes, it's actually asking you to go back to your inner child, your younger self, and really listen. Really listen. Respectfully listen to your younger self without having judgment from your adult self. Looking at it going, it wasn't that bad, because you're comparing to other people you know. Your younger self said it was hell. They weren't comparing to anybody else. And that is what you need to listen to. Listen to that, heal from that, release that. So let's go to listening. Once again, if you want to close your eyes, take another breath with me. Just to recenter yourself, so once again you can come back and really absorb all the words on a deep internal level of what this message is going to share with you today. You're about to receive an important message from your higher self, or alternatively from someone dear to you who has passed in the realm of the spirit world. The information you receive will clarify and shed light on something important to you. Over the coming days, try to relax and switch off from the outside worlds at time. Bring your focus within and listen out for intuitive whispers that flow through your mind or feelings that swell up from within your heart center. When the time is right, you will know. It is often when you least expect it. So when it's said through your mind, I'm going to just give you a different word, which is through your thoughts. You may have thoughts that come up and it's about your childhood or something that happened years ago. What I want you to do is take note of those and write them down. Anything from your childhood that comes up that was painful, it's an indication that you haven't healed from it. You don't just remember certain events for no reason. If they were painful events, or you may not look at them as painful from your adult self, but if you go back to when you were a kid and it happened, did it upset you? If it's upset you, then it's a painful event. Sometimes as adults we dismiss the little things, but if you're a parent, equate that to your child. As a parent and your child shared that with you, I'm pretty sure that most of the time you would give them a hug and say it's okay. Because there's an emotional attachment to that event for your child. And you as a parent can see that, and so you comfort that. But for some reason, when you do that for yourself as a child, you dismiss it. You do not acknowledge it. You go, it was no big deal. But if it's your child, it's a big deal. So this is the shift that really is going to make the difference for you. If you're reflecting back on something that happened to you as a child, if you're a parent, and look at it, if it happened to your child, how would you react to that? Would they be impacted by that? If they would be, then it's impacting you. It must have impacted you as a kid. So really be kinder to you. Stop judging your younger self from your adult self, if that makes sense. I hope I'm not confusing you. But we do. We judge ourselves and go, it wasn't that bad, so that's okay. And therefore what we're doing is we're suppressing that pain still. We're shoving it back down rather than bringing it up, looking at it and going, yeah, you know what? It really hurt when I was a kid. So you can heal from it and then go, but I'm going to move past this because I can't change it. I can't, but what I can do is shift the way that it's impacted me all these years. So I hope today you get something from today's messages, even if it's a little bit. Take some time out for you to really just absorb the words that came through in this message. If you really loved today's message and you'd like to hear more, I'd be so grateful if you've subscribed to my channel, and also click on the notifications bell so you'll be notified when I upload the next video. And also, if this video had impact on you, I'd love for you to like the video, just so it will really get my rankings up there so more people can be exposed to what I have to share on a daily basis. So please never forget that you matter. You matter. And after all, you are your most valuable asset. So it's time to invest in you. So for today, take care, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.